Okay, so you are obviously a busy guy, traveling all over. You've obviously got movies and series that have been on your to watch list, whether it's on Netflix or Sky or whatever. What has been something you've had a chance to catch up on Netflix or Sky or whatever? And what can you recommend to people, whether it's a movie or a TV series?
Oh, I actually watch a lot of these series. Actually, if you've not seen the McQueen documentary, I've only just watched that recently. But he's a clothing designer, and he committed suicide just recently. Actually, God bless him. And that series was actually recommended. I was watching a Rob Moore video, and he recommended it, and I watched it, and it's breathtaking. So that was awesome. And I've never watched Breaking Bad before. So I've just started watching that, and that's meant to be really good. And everyone says you get through the first 3 episodes, and you're hooked for life. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm on episode 2 at the moment. So.
Yeah, I lasted till episode 2, and I was just like, no, I can't do it. I do like it. I never got through it, but I was started that just at the time when I made a pact when I was growing Boostly back in 2017. I would cut TV series on the head. I would not watch any, which was hard because at the time I used to watch all of the series. Both Laura and I would watch Two Broke Girls, Billions, you name it, House of Cards, New Girl. We watched everything, and it was hard to do, but one of the best things that I made, because I used to waste so many hours watching those TV series. But nice little recommendations there. I do like that. All right, so
the best series ever. I can't get it. I watched that on repeat over and over again.
Which one was that? Suits, yeah, no, Suits is
series ever.
There are a few of them that I totally miss, but like I say, now I've just been so ingrained to not watching TV, not watching series. It's hard to get back in. Although since being on lockdown, Bargain Hunt has sort of snuck into the TV. It's one of those ones. This always seems to be on. Right, what is the one thing that you've missed most since being on lockdown? That one thing that you used to do but not being able to do.
It's going to sound really sad, but like hanging out with my office mates. So I've got 2 people that I work really closely with, and like the office family on this.
Yeah.
The gym I miss and the cinema. They're the 3 things I won't know. They're the things.
100%. Don't worry. Like, there's been a lot of people who have said that being in an office environment, being around, office work colleagues, that's been a big one. But yeah, I totally agree on the cinema. I love nothing more than going to a cinema and just switching off from the world, phone off, and just being.
One place I don't use that phone. One place.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. All right. Your favorite purchase in the past year under £100? What's been that one thing that you've bought under £100 in the last sort of year that you're a massive fan on?
Oh, mate, a lot of my money goes on traveling. So I would have to say, I won't lie, I've got a latest Microsoft keyboard and mouse, which is so much better than this laptop that I type on. That's been the dream when I've been writing my book recently. So yeah, I haven't spent much money in the past 6 months with everything that's been going on. So yeah, that would be my purchase under £100.
And we heard it here first. There's a book on the way, which is nice. How's that going on?
There is. I mean, it's a guide to 10K followers. Like, it's a breakdown.
Nice, another guide. Lovely. You are a writer. That's good to know. Okay, so obviously you're on the road a lot when we're not on lockdown. Do you have a favorite podcast, or do you have a YouTube channel that you could recommend to anybody that is tuning in?
Apart from this one,
you're too kind.
I watch a lot of fitness. So there's a guy called Christian Guzman who's a fitness influencer. And he is also one hell of an entrepreneur. So he's got gym, energy drink company, clothing company, coaching company, and he generates more money just through social media traffic than I've ever seen. So I watch that. Like, that's my lifestyle show that I watch.
Yeah.
So Christian Guzman on his fitness journey.
Would he be one of your ideal clients to work with if you could work with anybody? So
he knows way much more than what I do, mate. Flipping out, the guy's got over 1 million followers. He's got the most rampant fans ever. I'd love, there's some people where you just love to spend time just looking at their direct messages. I'd love to see some of the direct messages that he gets sent on a day-to-day basis. It'd be hilarious.
That'd be a good one. And finally, obviously, you've had the accommodation business in the past and whatnot. You obviously know what direct bookings is all about. So what would be your one big advice to pass on to anybody listening if they wanted to help increase their direct bookings?
Yeah, for me, it is all about connecting and using the messaging functions on social media more effectively. So not just putting content out there and expecting results, but proactively prospecting. So the only way that we got direct bookings was by going out and asking for them.
Yeah.
So we were actually going out, and it's simple stuff, right? Like it's just using the direct message, using that microphone and the voice note to really actually gain the attention rather than sending a copy and paste message to everyone. The voice note made the biggest difference when we were getting responses back from people, and that really helped.
I think the main takeaway there is just ask. The amount of people who are scared to do so, just ask. And, you know, Dan Meredith, a guy who I followed for years, says it all the time, shy kids don't get sweets. So again, take that, put it into practice, and all that we ask, you know, Chris has given up an hour of his time, which much appreciated for, and we're doing these free daily videos over the course of the last 6 weeks. All we want to do, all I want to see, all that Chris wants to see is that you listen to this or you watch this, take on advice, learn just one thing, even if it's just one takeaway, but most importantly, put it into practice tomorrow. So whatever you can do to put it into practice, because then that will mean that you're learning, but most importantly, taking your business forward and moving the needle. Chris, any final words that you'd like to say before you leave us this evening?
No, not specifically. I think the biggest thing for me is obviously consistency. So don't give it a go for a couple of days. Give it 30 days. Just commit to posting something on there for 30 days. And if you're interested in personal branding and about how we've got some really cool people coming on, we're just about to launch our Brand You podcast. So it's coming live on the 1st of May, I believe we're launching. We've got some cool people on, from fitness influencers to heavy entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in personal branding and hearing some cool stories, then come check out the Brand You podcast. I will be shouting about it so loudly over the next 2 weeks. So if you're following me, there's no doubt you will not hear about it.
Good. And yeah, go and check out Instagram. It's christaylor.ig. Go and follow, go save it, go send him a message, save it. You discovered it through the Boostly podcast. And yeah, a massive thank you for Chris for doing that. And again, all of these show notes, because we have thrown a lot at you in this episode, all of the show notes will be on the Boostly website. Go to boostly.co.uk/podcast. Just look for Chris's face. We're in season 8, and you can go and click on and get it all in there. Go to Chris's Instagram, go to the podcast when it's live, and so much more. But finally, all I ask before I leave you today for another episode is to share this video, share this podcast, share this live stream that you are watching right now with just one person. So comment below and tag somebody, click that share button, which is in the bottom left-hand corner. Go and share it in a Facebook group, go and share it on your personal wall, but tell people about this. Doesn't matter whether it's hospitality or not, because all of these tactics and tips massively can help any business. So if you just go and do that for me, that would be great. And finally, if you are listening to the audio version and you have an Apple phone, go rate, review, and subscribe. We have just passed the 20,000 download mark, which is phenomenal. And we are in the top 25 in the UK for podcasts, which is unbelievable, to be perfectly honest. And it's all thanks to you that is sharing it and telling everybody about it. So appreciate that. And we will be back again with the next episode where we're talking about pricing post-corona. We've got Price Labs coming on, and we're going to share some really cool stats, surveys, and data that Price Labs have pulled for this episode. So that's going to be the next episode that you can find by tuning in at boostly.co.uk/daily boost to get a little bit of a nudge before we go live on Facebook. All right, everybody, thank you very much. Have a good evening, and we'll speak to you all very soon.